5 Cool Facts About Space. Number 5. The Big Dipper is not a constellation. Many people consider the Big Dipper to be a constellation, but, in fact, it is an asterism. An asterism is a pattern of stars in the sky which is not one of the official 88 constellations. They are also composed of stars which are not physically related to each other and can be vast distances apart. An asterism can be composed of stars from one or more constellations. In the case of the Big Dipper, it is composed entirely of the 7 brightest stars in the Ursa Major, Great Bear, constellation. Number 4. George's star. When Sir William Herschel discovered Uranus in 1781, he was given the honor of naming it. He chose to name it Georgium Sidus, George's star, after his new patron, King George III, Mad King George. This is what he said. In the fabulous ages of ancient times, the appellations of Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn were given to the planets, as being the names of their principal heroes and divinities. In the present more philosophical era it would hardly be allowable to have recourse to the same method and call it Juno, Pallas, Apollo or Minerva, for a name to our new heavenly body. The first consideration of any particular event, or remarkable incident, seems to be its chronology. If in any future age it should be asked, when this last found planet was discovered, it would be a very satisfactory answer to say, in the reign of King George III. Number 3. Extra moons. Okay, that is not actually true, but it is very close. In 1986, Duncan Waldron discovered an asteroid, 5 kilometers across, that is in an elliptic orbit around the Sun with a period of revolution virtually identical to that of Earth. For this reason the planetoid and Earth appear to be following each other. The periodic planetoid is named Cruith, pronounced Crinwy, after an ancient group of Scottish people, also known as the Picts. Because of its unusual relationship with Earth, it is sometimes referred to as Earth's second moon. Cruith is fainter than Pluto and would require at least a 12.5-inch reflecting telescope to attempt to be seen. Since its discovery, at least 3 other similar asteroids have been discovered. These types of objects are also found in similar relationships to other planets in our solar system. In the image above, courtesy of Paul Wiegert, the Earth is the blue circle with a cross in it, and Cruith's orbit is shown in yellow. Number 2. Sunspot music. Antonio Stradivari is considered to be the greatest violin maker ever. He lived in Italy in the 17th and 18th centuries. Scientists have been unable to work out what it is about his violins that makes them so incredible. But they do know that the timber used to make them is a very important contributing factor. From the 1500s to 1800s, the Earth underwent a little ice age mostly due to increased volcanic activity and decreased solar activity. This is called the Maunder minimum. As a result of this cooling, the types of trees that Stradivari used for his violins were particularly hard, due to slow growth. Hard timber is especially good when making violins. It is very probable that had Stradivari lived in a different age, his violins would not be prized as they are today. This picture above is made of 3 overlapping photos. It shows the rings in the spruce tree used to make the most famous Stradivarius violin, the Messiah. The first row of numbers gives the width of each ring in millimeters, 1 is about the thickness of a fingernail. The bottom row gives the years in which each ring grew. Number 1. Cold welding. This may sound unbelievable, but it is true. 2 pieces of metal without any coating on them will form into one piece in the vacuum of space. This doesn't happen on Earth because the atmosphere puts a layer of oxidized material between the surfaces. This might seem like it would be a big problem on the space station, but as most tools used there have come from Earth, they are already coated with material. In fact, the only evidence of this seen so far has been in experiments designed to provoke the reaction. This process is called cold welding.